everyone. Within the colonial regime, there was one thing I need to, in fact, two things I need to discuss in detail. So one thing is that one class being developed that time, which is called Bhadralok. See my presentation slide, and here I put the name Bhadralok in 19th century. There is a one class which is not developed based on Jamindar or Brahmins. This is the one class who also developed in Calcutta and outside from the Calcutta, who that time adopted with the newly formed education system which is offered by that time and policy developed by British government. And by following this, I told you that time the total education system been changed and shifted and moved in a different era, which some people are got in a very good manner that they found is very interesting and is a very modernized, blah blah, and take it as a very positive way. But some people criticize hugely, like Rabindranath Tagore also criticized these things, and Rabindranath wrote one poetry based on these things, not poetry, a short story which is named is Tota Kahini. So Tota Kahini is like that one Tota is born that time, and that Tota that time the one king appointed so many and a teacher for Tota because Tota doesn't know. Tota means Tota bird, but means Tota Paki. So Tota doesn't know how to behave because always she loves to eat so many fruits which is belongs to the king's garden. That's why king assigned near about 10 to 12 teachers to teach Tota how to behave. So it is a satire. It's a satirical write-up by Rabindranath Tagore that time to satire the policy of education which is being developed by British government. So under that education system, we found there are a couple of people that got education from there who can speak English properly, and based on that they got some jobs, especially in government office like Kirani and other petty officers, because this was a very lower class job, and most of the cases the white British does not like to join this type of job. So that's why they offered the native Indians to join this type of jobs. So based on that, some people again got some power and earned some money, and they deploy this money to buy jamindari and also to join some merchandising and trading. And you know that time salt business, gold business, and this type of business is so amazingly good. So based on those things, a one class developed. So how were they? So that's why today I'm going to talk about Bhadralok Samaj in 19th century in Bengal. Especially I am talking about the Calcutta town that time. Bhadralok, an elitist social class that emerged through the process of social changes brought under the impact of British colonial rule. In pre-modern time, the word Bhadra, a Sanskrit term, denoted several values including property, particularly homestead property. The homestead granted to a person rent-free was then known as bhadrasan. The occupant of the bhadrasan was Bhadra, and from that root, Bhadralok. The term Bhadralok begun to be used later for the behaviorally refined people. From earlier 19th century, a Bhadralok class was emerging as a social category and became particularly practically an institution in the mid-19th century. Here are some figures. You can see that the 19th century, how they look like. These figures, this drawing is showing that how they wear their dresses, and it is a very combination of Western and Eastern, and both are combined, and which denoted their attitude, their modernity, and which is Partha Chatterjee called it locally modern. So Partha Chatterjee, and he is a famous professor, and he belongs to the subaltern studies group, and there's another study group who loves to understand history from the below. But we are in class, we are not trying to do the history from the below. We are always trying to talk on the top-down process. So in its institutional sense, I am talking about Bhadralok, in its institutional sense, the term was first used by Bhavani Charan Bandyopadhyay in 1887 to 1848 in his literary work. And native clericals and petty officials serving the British colonial state, the noble-riches. So this noble-riches means the newly born riches. New jomindars and entrepreneurs were made the themes of satirical works like Kolikata Kamalaloy. So this Kolikata Kamalaloy, written by Bhavani Charan Bandyopadhyay in 1823. After that, he wrote Nobu Babu Bilash is in 1825, and then Nobu Bibi Bilash in 1831. Nobu Bibi Bilash means the wife of the Bhadralok, the newly born rich people, elite people who belongs to there. And they also organize so many fashion and other things. I would like to show you one page here. Wait a bit, what is going on? Why is not working? Okay, so this one is that page, one of the page. This Kolikata. What's the name? Kolikata Kamalaloy. So you can see this page. Oh, my laptop is not working properly. Okay, this one. Come on. Okay, this one. And this is the first page, an introductory page of that book. If I write 1-2 line, then you will find that he wrote that Kolikatar সাগরের সহিত সাদৃশ্য আছে, তৎপ্রযুক্ত কলিকাতা কমলালয় নাম স্থির হইল, কমলা লক্ষ্মী তাহার আলোয়ে এই অর্থ সহ. I cannot read properly. Just they're talking about that who are newly rich, newly educated, they come to the Calcutta, but they don't know how to speak in Bangla properly. They don't know how to speak in English in proper pronunciation and other things. That type of things started from these things. So today you will find again that within your neighborhood and your society that who cannot speak up properly in proper pronunciation in Bangla or English. Everybody is trying to tell that this is a very newcomer to the Dhaka or other things, and they cannot speak up properly. They don't know how to manner and other things. So these type of things you will get in which published in 1823. And Bhavani Charan ridiculed the emergent class using the term Bhadralok. The Bhadralok did not really come from bhadrasan, but from the clerical, commercial, and new landed class who built their fortune through their association and transaction with the Europeans. They amassed with wealthy. According to Bhavani Charan, after coming in contact with the Europeans and being influenced by them, they became indifferent about religion and culture of their forefathers. Oh my God, this one giving me. Okay. So by the mid-19th century, the Bhadralok seemed to have received social recognition. By then, they were not only wealthy but also educated and influential. From the time onward, the administrative and the landed middle class of the 19th century came to be known in general as Bhadralok, whose hallmark were education and wealth. So, who are educated and wealthy that time, they are known as Bhadralok. Some are called it Babu Samaj or Babu. So, even if anyone come from the old Dhaka or that, there is a big size traders. So you will find that there are so many people who work there as a cashier, like who maintain all the things that have and business things and everything. They wrote down in a manage in a pages. So till date আমরা মনে করি যে হিন্দু এই বাবুরা খুব ভালো হিসাব নিকাশ রাখতে পারে এবং তারা এই হিসাব নিকাশ করতে জানে এবং আমরা যে কোনো মুসলিম দোকানেও হিন্দু বাবুকে পাই. So that type of people were very educated, and through that they became wealthy. Until the second decade of the 20th century, the Bhadralok class was socially identified with Hindu elite groups for the obvious reason that then most Jomindars and educated elite were Hindus that time. The elite member of the Muslim society were socially known as Ashraf or gentry. So who are the Ashraf in Muslim society? Who belongs to the surname or who own the surname as Sayyid, Pathan, Sheikh, etc. They are claimed themselves as a Ashraf because they claim that they come from their ancestor come from the Middle East country and they have a good lineage with the Prophet. So they are the family of the Prophet. However, vast changes took place in the Bengali social structure during the Crown's period, 1858 to 1947. Why I am calling it Crown's period? Because you know that 1758 to 1857, that time British East India Company ruled over India. But from 1858 to 1947, that time it was directly ruled by the British Empire. That's why I'm calling it Crown's period. And in the middle of great changes in the upstream of the society, all educated and respectable people, irrespective of religion, came to be known as Bhadraloks. Though Muslim Ashraf never enjoyed the appellation. So it is because Ashraf has a connotation of pedigree and linkage with the family of the Prophet, which I already told you. As a social category, Bhadralok as a class meant only the Hindu Babus, who were educated, wealthy, upper caste, and shared some administrative power with the white ruling community. The members of the Bhadralok class led the nationalist movement launched in the late 19th century. Until the second decade of the 20th century, the Bengal Bhadralok class had been enjoying preeminent position in the administration, economy, and politics of Bengal, and their education and outlook earned respect from the society at large. So they enjoyed so much these things till you can take it in 1920, that time. Uh, so after that, things been changed. So how? Since 1920s, political preeminence of the Bhadralok was at a stake when elective legislature was introduced under the Act of 1990. So the Muslim and scheduled caste means the lower caste people communities were empowered to elect their own representative under the Montagu Chelmsford Reform Act 1919. So this act give open up a doorway to participate the national politics and state politics for the Muslims people and also for the scheduled caste people. Before that, we found only the Nikhil Bharat Congress Party and also in a small scale Muslim League. But Muslim League wasn't that much big party and it didn't get chance that time to be a big one. But after this act, the things started to be changed. The new system deprived the Bhadralok class of their traditional supremacy in politics. The less privileged and less educated scheduled caste and politically backward Muslim communities got representation in the Bengal Legislative Council and later Bengal Legislative Assembly. All these political changes took place at the expense of the traditional privilege of the Bhadralok class, and this change had deeply changed the caste and communal relations. The political reforms eroded the Bhadralok identity because now the Muslims and scheduled caste candidates tended to combine against the Bhadralok candidates. So Bhadralok started to losing their control over scheduled caste and other people from that things. To overcome such predicament, the Bhadralok class restored to communal politics, resulting the communal riots in 1926. So 1926 we found first colonial riot, and it was been happened because of this Bhadralok, because they started and they're trying to overpower this society. So use this tool, the communal tool. So a section of Bhadralok class branded the Muslims as enemies of Hinduism to establish their thesis. Many of them invented the myth of Muslim tyranny against the Hindus during the long Muslim rules. So this is the first time which nowadays we are experiencing BJP government in India. The same thing first rooted in that time by the Bhadralok society. They used that tool, that communal tool, to make it differences because they want to overpower. The Muslim politics lead the Ashraf class and also invented myth of Hindu tyranny. So they also learned from that and they also use the same tool at social level in the past, and especially citing the Bhadralok led communal riot of 1926. Bhadralok and Ashraf communal discourses eventually lead to the division of the Bengal society into communal lines. The rise of Hindu and Muslim nationalism eventually led to the Great Calcutta Riot, which been held in 1946. So that brutal riot happened and it's resulted that 1947, that partition, and the world saw a new country being born, which named after Pakistan, and Bangladesh also got a partial liberalization and within the framework of this Pakistan idea. So after that, Bangladesh fulfilled its independent fight in 1971, and world got a new country, and Bengali people in the history first time got independent country in the world. So I talk about Bhadralok, but it's all about the male game and male things what I talk. But what about the Bhadra Mohila? So in that case, I want to ask you, and hopefully you will love to see a film. It's a Satyajit Ray's film. It's Charulata. It's available in YouTube. You can easily see this movie. It's not that much long one, and I want to denote the Bhadra Mohila here. How within this class, how women empowered and also deprived within this section. So you can find it there. So I want to summarize Bhadralok, and I want to talk about Satyajit Ray's character, but who got it from Rabindranath Tagore's very famous short story, Nostonir, and from Nostonir he got it. So the concept of Bhadralok as opposed to the Chotolok is of great significance in the social history of colonial Bengal. Bhadralok in Bengali stands for the respectable, the cultured and educated, such as the middle and upper classes, whereas in contrast, the Chotolok make for the small people or the poorer lower classes. Bhadra Mohila are the women of the Bhadralok. The concept of Bhadralok played an important role in the 19th century. By the way, here I am using Mohila because that time it was very famous word. So in the that's why I'm using Mohila, and it was established that time. Because I'm talking about 19th century, that's why I'm using that term here. So 19th century cultural resistance in Bengal and social reform movements there. So I will let you know next class that what was the Bengal cultural renaissance. It is also embedded in this idea of Bhadralok with this class, and who in fact brought this renaissance to the Bengal. And that's why I will tell you in detail in the next class. What should be further mentioned in the bifurcation that came into the picture in relation to the social and political affairs, and in that sense there came up a dichotomy of the world into two domains, Ghar and Bahir. It means if I go with the Habermasian theory, is that private sphere and public sphere, but you can take it as the home and the world. The dichotomy of Ghar and Bahir did not, however, imply a clear chasm between what was European and material and what was inner, distinctive and spiritually superior. With the emergence of several reformist movements aimed at undoing various oppressive structures of patriarchy such as Shoti, and efforts at enabling women to attain liberty by means of providing education and equal opportunity, the dynamics created by the confrontation between this ingrained dichotomy and an attempt at renewal of Bengali social structure resulted in the formation of a new kind of patriarchy, something where attempts to construct a new woman who was apparently liberated were being made, but at the same time, the innate nature of control over the female sexuality could not be overpowered. So now I am coming to the main movie, which is directed by and scripted by Satyajit Ray. So Charulata, he considered it as a lonely wife. So Charulata, in a Bengali film by Satyajit Ray based on Rabindranath Tagore's story Nostuni, you can take it The Broken Nest, taking place in 19th century colonial Bengal, when the Bengali cultural renaissance was at its apex. Charulata tells the story of Bhupati, a political journalist and publisher, his young wife Charu, his cousin Amol, who is almost the same age as Charu, and Charu's brother and brother's wife, set in the 19th century old world, and feudal Bengali Bhadralok, which is being ruffled by the winds of liberty and individuality. So here his protagonist is Charulata, Amol, and also Charu's husband Bhupati. So if you have no experience about the storyline, you later on, if you don't understand my discussion, just when I finish these things, you can ask me. I'll try to let you know in detail. So I want to go to understandable what's the Bhadra Mohila that time. Deeply inspired by Mill and Bentham's idea of freedom and equality, Bhupati, portrayed by Shalini Mukherjee, is who portrayed as a Charulata here, is insistent upon propagating the same by means of his newspaper, The Sentinel, which runs on his feudal money and is destined to be in dire straits. Bhupati's enterprise keeps him busy all day, leaving his young, childless, conveniently though good wife Charu to herself. So Bhupati always busy with his own works, and he cannot give her so much attention. So Charulata living with his own world, and in spite of being neglected, she is amiable and fills up her time reading literature and looking at the outside world from her sequestered ghar through her opera glasses. So Charulata trying to read some literature and look outside through glasses and try to understand what is happening outside, because that time women also not that much empowered to go outside to visit the world, or in fact in the locality. So Charu is a very lonely housewife that time. And it is also interesting to note how Ray means Satyajit Ray, portrays the home in a Bhadralok, vice versa, the spirit of patriarchy that binds it. So it was a very patriarchal society. So and Bhadralok's home and Bhadra Mohila always living in a home, who go outside, those women is not considered as a Bhadra Mohila. The Bhadra Mohila is provided with the Western equipment, opera glasses, and literacy to look at the outside world, while definitely staying within her part of the world, her ঘর. This rather tears representation of Charu's relationship with Bhupati is contrasted against the mellifluous introduction of Bhupati's cousin Amol, who is also a writer, and his interaction with Charu. And this interaction is very interesting in this storyline, Amol and Charu. And both seem to find a common point on literature as they discuss, like Bankim Babu means Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay's Anando Mott, and music as Amol sings Tagore's Ami Chini Go Chini Tomare Ogo Bideshini to Charu. So they both like their own companies. So they talk each other. During these things, Amol came to know that Charulata is very fond of literature, and Charu also found that Amol also fond of literature, and he loves to sing, and Charu also loved to hear those songs. So and through that, Charu started to writing some poetry, and a style hits Charu's otherwise empty but intrinsically calm life with the coming in of Amol, Charu's brother, and the brother's wife Mondakini or Monda. Here you can take Monda as a negative character, antagonist character. Amol inspires Charu to write because Charu loved to read, so he inspired, but all never know that Charu already written so many poetry. Charu gradually attains the self-imposed right to be the first one to read all of Amol's work and openly displaying feelings of envy when Monda seems to be taking over this right, because Charu loved to read for his first right of read for Amol, and she also found herself that he loved to hear the first writing of Amol's to Amol, but Monda also interfered there, and Monda started to hear from Amol's writing from here first. Slowly and almost unknowingly, a sexual love developed between the two, between Amol and Charu. By means of this character, the story discusses social implications tugging alongside personal lives and relationships. The pattern of relationship within the traditional joint family and the complex confrontation is depicted very craftedly by Satyajit Ray by means of the spatial variation among Charu, Bhupati, and Amol, and the various rivals to the attention of Bhupati and Charu, the newspaper of Charu, and Amol for Bhupati. The concept of boundary and decorum, which are the pillars of the homeward dichotomy, is very well played with in the parts wherein, when on recognizing the nature of Charu's love for himself, Amol consents to marriage and goes abroad, thus staying within the decorum, but in close contrast to this, when breaking violently from this constraint, Charu collapses on bed on hearing the news of Amol's marriage, making almost no effort to hide this fact from her husband, who for the first time comes face to face with this realization and the intense emotional power of his wife's griefs. Thus, though the entire drama takes place inside the upper middle class Bhadralok and on the surface is about the suppressed romance and characters' relationship and preoccupations, it is essential also about a classist and sexist society and a woman's Bhadra Mohila's desires and descent in Bengal of the colonial era. And ultimately, the desire and longing of Charu is treated as a fire that engulfs all of the three main characters. Smolders Charu the most intensely, unlike Tagore, the maestro Ray suspends the climax in an animation, leaving the audience to discern the emotional conflagration. So this is all from my side. Hopefully you guys can hear me properly.